Hi guys, it is Mr. Dave and
Science Haley.
Bing! Science Haley. I am so happy, so lucky today to have my wonderful daughter Haley with me. She's been helping out with science experiments since always.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much always. So it's wonderful to have her here with me, and she's here to help out today. And we're actually going to be doing something kind of like you may have just seen in the intro there, where I got all covered with bubbles, minus the bubbles. What are we going to be working with today?
Today we're going to be working with liquid nitrogen.
Liquid nitrogen. Now, liquid nitrogen is cold, okay? Now, before we go through this, I'm going to kind of talk about some safety stuff. One, don't try this at home. There you go. That was it. There's only one. Don't try this at home. This one is a demonstration thing. When we did dry ice, you're able to kind of manipulate that, and that's something that you can work with at home. Liquid nitrogen?
Nope.
Don't try it at home. All right, so when we say that, we are going to be taking safety precautions. We are going to be careful. We are going to be safe. Haley has done liquid nitrogen demonstrations with me for years and years and years, and so she is capable with it. I've also worked with it for a very long time. So when we talk about liquid nitrogen, Haley, have you ever tried to breathe nitrogen?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Have you guys ever tried to breathe nitrogen? That was my Dora moment. Did you see that? Yeah. Anyway, we're all breathing nitrogen all the time. So nitrogen in and of itself is something it's like 70-something% of the atmosphere. It's everywhere. But when we cool it and compress it and turn it from a gas to a liquid, it is very, very, very cold. How cold is it?
321 degrees negative. Below
Yes.
zero.
Yeah, below zero, and that's Fahrenheit. So that is very cold. Now, we say 321. If you want to get picky, it is 300.
And I do.
Yeah, like this one. Yeah, she's like, oh, it's not 321. Yeah, but it's 320.597. Yeah, anyway, but we say 321 because it's a lot easier when we're doing some of these demonstrations, especially when I'm doing like large demonstrations with it. If I say it's 321 to below zero, because that means
3, 2, 1.
There you go. So I can ask how cold is liquid nitrogen, and everybody says
3, 2, 1.
There you go. When you're thinking of it, that's an easy way to remember it. It is
3, 2, 1.
There you go. So the ones that we're doing here, we probably won't do too much of a countdown unless we really feel like it, and then we'll do it. But we will be doing a little bit of a cloud here in the studio. I want to say to just take just a second for the wonderful folks here at Studio 519. You guys are amazing. I had a really cool compliment just this morning about you guys from a viewer, and it was a younger kid, and he said, you know what? He said, your lab on TV is really cool. So thank you very much. Yeah, so I thought that was a wonderful one. So we really appreciate all you guys here at Studio 519, because he said, your lab on TV is really cool. So I appreciate that. So I just had to pass that along as an extra thank you to you guys. So we're going to get to doing some demonstrations. As I said, this is something that you don't want to try at home because of kind of some safety concerns. And I'll show you what I mean by that as we're going through. When we are doing our demonstrations, we are going to be taking some safety precautions, and I want you to note them at home. There will be times that I'm wearing glasses. There will be times that I'm not. Haley, she's going to wear hers because that way she can see. But sometimes I won't be wearing glasses. We also have these right here. This is the most expensive item of clothing I own. These are cryo gloves. These are not normal just working in the yard gloves. These are rated for a very, very low temperature. We will be wearing these at times, and other times we will not. Now, if we're not, same thing with the glasses. If we're not wearing the gloves and we're handling things, don't worry. The reason we're not wearing them is because you could probably see, go ahead, you can put your, she likes doing the, yeah, phenomenal. Yeah, anyway, but you can see that I don't have some of the dexterity that I may need to handle some of these materials. We don't want to spill this. So if we are not wearing the gloves, don't worry, we're not being unsafe. We're actually taking precaution by not wearing the gloves. The same thing with the glasses. Because of the nature of the nitrogen, sometimes that vapor will make it to where I can't see. So if I'm not wearing the glasses, it's not because I'm being unsafe. It is because I want to kind of see what I'm doing so we don't end up getting covered in liquid nitrogen. Okay,
Less fun.
yeah, that's a lot less fun. So that's kind of the safety thing. Just as a note, we are being safe even if you see us without glasses and without gloves. Okay, now Haley's going to wear her glasses. Yeah, because that way she can see what's going on. So we have a couple different things we're going to do, and we're going to be looking at what are our kind of three primary states of matter that we're going to be messing with today.
Gas,
Gas.
liquid, and solid.
Yeah, gas, liquid, and solid. I don't know which finger was which, but gas, liquid, and solid. And we're going to be showing you kind of the results of some extremely cold temperatures on some of these materials. Okay, so which one should we start out with?
Let's start solid.
Solid. Okay, so we're going to start out with solid. The first question that I will get pretty regularly is, what if you get it on you? Now, I brought something here to simulate a finger. Now, I didn't have any hot dogs at home because I ate them all. So what we have here is...
Turkey.
Turkey, yeah, I have some rolled turkey. And then if you hold them, yeah, for my special effects unit, yeah, these are my fingers that we'll be using. And you can see, can you feel that? That is nice and floppy finger now, right? So as of right now, that is a nice and floppy piece of turkey. Now, when I am working with these, for these types, these smaller ones on the table, I may not be wearing the glasses, as I said. Some of them I will be putting them on. I'm going to have these here. In this, well, this one's really a growler, but it's the same science as a dewar. I've got a large dewar over here. I'm going to grab it. Okay, this is what the liquid nitrogen, when you pick it up, this is what you pick it up with. Okay, well, no, you don't pick it up. Well, I just picked it up with this.
Exactly.
Yeah, but this is what you pick it up in, and it's very important. There's a lot of science that goes into these in order to keep you safe from it. One, it doesn't seal, okay? And that's because if it did, this would be a bomb, okay? Because if you remember, PTV, what was PTV? Do you remember? It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
Pressure.
Pressure, time,
Temperature. And volume. Oh, see, it's been a long time. So pressure, temperature, and volume. If you remember those, when we're changing the temperature of things, we're going to have it expand or contract. Now, in this case, when that nitrogen wants to turn into a gas, it's going to expand. Okay, oh, that was good. It's going to expand. Yeah, so it will expand. And I have it in here. This has the same science. This is just one that we bought, and I don't know, somewhere here in town. But this one here keeps your drinks nice and cold. That's great, right? It works off the same principle as that one here. I don't have it sealed, okay? And it is a double wall container with metal on the inside, metal on the outside, and what's on the in between them? Nothing. Yeah, nothing, okay? So that vacuum there, that air in there keeps it from freezing my hands when I'm touching it. And we'll see what's happening when we do that. Now, if I will have you pick this up, if that's okay. Yeah. And when I have you pick it up, you're going to pick it up by the top. You won't pick it up by the bottom, okay? And the reason for that is if you've ever seen A Christmas Story. Yeah, what happened in Christmas Story?
Stuck your tongue to a pole.
Stuck your tongue to a pole. So the same thing can happen if you grab this here. You can stick your fingers to a little beaker. Not as fun, okay? So I'm going to pour a little bit of this in here. You're going to see when I do a couple things that happen, okay? There you go. And go ahead and grab that by the top, and if you can show the camera there. Now, what does that look like it's doing?
Boiling.
Boiling, right? But it's cold, okay? So if it's cold, is it actually boiling?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Boiling happens, and you can set that down if you'd like, but boiling happens when we have a huge temperature difference and a liquid is reaching the
boiling point.
Boiling point, right? So there's a big temperature difference. So even though this is very cold, it's actually boiling because it boils at what temperature?
3, 2, 1.
321 degrees negative, okay? And that is in Fahrenheit. So if we had our floppy little finger there, okay, and so Do I give you? Anyway, all right, so we have our floppy little finger there. And we can see that it is very flexible. This is a solid, liquid, or gas?
Solid.
Solid, okay? So if we put the solid into my little, oh, we have a nice little tube there. But if we put the solid in here, it is dipped down into the liquid nitrogen. And when we have that solid in there, you may notice you can hear a little bit of a difference. Yeah, you hear it? It is frozen solid. Yeah, there you go. It is frozen solid. And so now instead of, oh, part of it already cracked off. But now instead of it being nice and floppy, that is nice and crumbly. And so that's why you are taking some precautions when you are messing with the liquid nitrogen, okay? You don't want to get it on you. You don't want it in a pool on your hand. And so we can see our floppy, which is not as cold. And then now, yeah, nice and squishy or mashed. So I'll have you do you want to squish a little bit? Here.
Sure.
I'll have so where Haley can squish a little bit there. So what we're doing is we are cooling down the little molecules that are in that solid. And when it's floppy, those molecules have some space between them so they can kind of move around. But when we get it nice and cold, they can't move around. So you can go ahead, you can squish that. There you go. Yeah, and we can see how that can crumble, okay? So you don't want that to happen to your fingers, okay? Now, what's kind of fun is she has a beautiful flower.
A little flower.
Yeah. I'm not going to tell you guys that we stole that from my wife's Mother's Day gift, flowers that Haley made. But she made it so she could steal it. So I'm going to move this turkey out of the way because it smells really good and it's making me hungry. So I'm going to pour some more of the liquid nitrogen in there into our little cup here. There's still a little bit of ham down in a little bit. That's okay. Ponyo loves ham. It's turkey. So I'm going to pour a little bit more of this in here. Okay. And then what Haley's going to do is, wait, first you have to show that it's nice and squishy. Yeah, so our flour is nice and squishy. Okay, so with a flour, this is a fun one. She's going to dip the flour in there. And you can hear it crickly-crackling in there. Okay. And what she's going to do is make sure you shake it off first. I'll hold it and then you can crunch it. I'm going to have her hold her hand like this so she doesn't end up with any of that nitrogen in her hand. And squish it. There you go, yeah. So you can see on here that our beautiful little flour has turned into little bitty crunchy flour chips. Okay. Now, these little flour chips right now are very rigid. Okay. And that's because those molecules are still cold. But in a little bit, those flours are going to warm back up, just like my turkey warms back up, and then it will get pliable again. Okay. Now, another fun one, what this is what we're here in, where are we? New Mexico? Yeah, New Mexico. And if you've ever ridden a bike in New Mexico, you know after the goat heads, this is all that is left of your inner tube after riding that bike for a little bit. So we have an inner tube. This inner tube is solid, liquid, or gas?
Solid.
Solid, okay. So it's solid, but again, it is rubbery. This is a polymer if you guys want to watch back to some of our episodes on polymers. But this polymer is rubbery and bendy. Okay. Now, if we were to do the same thing with this nice thick material and we put it into our liquid nitrogen, okay, you can hear it sizzling. Now, sizzling is normally something that you think of when you have a nice steak on the grill or something like that, and that's because the exact same thing is happening. Remember, this is liquid nitrogen. It's cold enough that we actually have that that sizzling that's happening. Now, we have made cryo steaks at the house, but that's for a whole other episode where you make steaks with the liquid nitrogen. Yeah, it's really good. But yeah, so this should be cold enough. We can see that vapor coming off. Go ahead and see if you can crack that or see if you can bend that. Oh, it bent right up here at the
warm
softer,
spot?
Yeah, the warmer. Oh, there you go. Yeah. So now we were able to actually kind of break that off. Okay. So this is all what kind of material we've been working with? Solids. Okay. So the liquid nitrogen made our solids solider.
Two solid.
2 solid, yeah. So what we're going to do now is we're going to switch gears just a little bit, and we are going to go to a liquid. Okay, so we're going to move over from going from a solid, getting colder, to a liquid, and we're going to do some interactions with liquids. Okay, now I have in here, this is my little, well, this is her little tea kettle, but I've been heating up some water in there, so we have some warm water that we're going to put in here. Okay,
Ooh, nice and warm.
Nice and warm. Now, another safety thing that we will point out, this is Pyrex. This type of glass will withstand temperature changes. And so if we take some of our liquid nitrogen, okay, I'll pour just a little bit more in there. Okay. And yes, I keep checking to make sure that's not sealed. Now, when we put it in this nice warm water, do you want to pour it in there?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead and grab a glove. This is getting a little bit cold. It's okay on the top, but you may want to grab a glove. So Haley's going to pour the, can you get it?
There we go.
Okay, there you go. You can have 2 gloves if it's easier. You got it? Okay.
Yep.
So she's going to pour the liquid nitrogen into the nice hot water, and let's see what happens there. There we go. We get this beautiful cloud that is coming from our water. Now, this cloud here, you can hold on to the rest of it. We'll pour it in another one in just a second. So this beautiful cloud here, you can hold this for dramatic effect. Yeah, there you go. Now, what's happening is this is actually vapor, right? When we did that dry ice and you had a little bit on the table there, this vapor is nice and thick, and we know that it's vapor because it is going down, right? And it is a cold vapor rather than a hot steam, okay? Steam rises. When you heat water or you heat a liquid, it will rise. When you are cooling it and it's turning into a vapor, or when you have a cold vapor, because this is a lot of the water here, then it is going to go down, okay? So this is when we mess with a liquid. Now, what's kind of fun is the pressure, temperature and volume. Good. Yes. I was testing her on that one because it's been years since she did that one with me. So I have a balloon here, and I'm going to do kind of the same thing. I'm going to put a little bit of water in my little bitty beaker here. Now, I had a middle-sized beaker right in between these right up until about 10 o'clock this morning where I was doing a class and I knocked it off of the table. And when you're doing something like this where you're breaking and crushing things, the first question that the students asked was, "Did you mean to do that?" No, I didn't mean to break my stuff. But so we have a little bit of that hot water in there. I'm going to get just a little bit more of the nitrogen. And we'll put a little more nitrogen in here. Okay. And we're going to make that vapor in this little bitty one, but we're going to capture it. Now, sometimes enough happens to where it pops the balloon. Now, I don't think we'll have an...
You popped the balloon.
I tore the balloon. All right, so sometimes, let's see. There you go. So what we have here is we can see how that vapor is expanding. Now, we lost a lot when we first started there, but what's happening is this is demonstrating that vapor that was coming off of there is our liquid turning into a gas. And so when it is a gas, it's taking up a lot more space, so it has a lot more volume. Volume. All right, volume. All right, so we can see that happening here, and we're capturing it in that balloon. Okay? Now, what if we went, that made a fun little sound. What if we went the other way? Okay?
What if we went the other way?
What if we went the other way, and we started out, I dropped my balloon. I got it. Okay, so, and we started out here. I can blow up this balloon. You can blow up that balloon. No, then we both pass out. And nobody's here to save the other one. All right, so I'm going to blow this balloon up. If I do pass out, Haley is here to rescue me. Yeah, all right. So
I'll just take over. Leave him on the floor.
yeah, she'll continue until I come to. All right, so I'm going to attempt to blow this balloon up. Here we go. Ready? And...
Nice.
Okay. Woo. Yeah, she's there to catch me. Thank you. All right, so, woo. I want a little bit more. I'm going to try one more time. Here we go. Ready? Woo. Okay. Woo.
Probably
Now,
good. Probably good.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, before I pass out. Did you see the little veins popping out of my forehead there? Little bead of sweat that broke on my forehead. So I'm going to tie this balloon off. Haley, what's inside of this balloon right now?
Stinky Dave breath.
Stinky Dave breath. Yes, balloons are disgusting. This is filled with all of my stinky breath, right? So that is what we have in here, and that is really gross. Now, is this really cold if you were to touch it?
Nope.
No, it's grossly warm, isn't it? Yeah, that's because of my Stinky Dave breath. So what we're going to do is we are going to get some of that liquid nitrogen, and we're going to put it in our little beaker here. And I am going to put this balloon into it. Now, this is, or do you want to do it?
I can do it.
Okay, you do it. Actually, I'll do it, and then, no, you do it. There you go. So, Haley's going to put it in there. I'm going to cover my ears. Okay, so go ahead and...
So we saw how the last one expanded when it was in the liquid nitrogen, right?
Right.
Let's
This
see
is
what
at
this one
room
does.
temperature. What's going to happen?
It's going to go in the
Did it pop?
It did not pop.
Oh, okay, it didn't pop. So we can see what happened. Absolutely nothing, right?
A little bit's happening. It's gotten smaller.
What? Look at our balloon.
Oh, it's still getting smaller.
Now, is there still Stinky Dave breath in that balloon?
Yes.
That's gross. Because now you have concentrated,
Cold.
cold
Stinky Dave breath.
Stinky Dave breath. All of those molecules are still in there. I'll do this last part here just so I don't touch the bottom there, and then I'll hand it right to you, okay? So what we have here is that balloon still has, go ahead and you can hold that for me, and you can give it a little shake there, get some of that nitrogen off of it. So we know that that balloon still contains the Stinky Dave breath because as it's warming back up, our balloon is expanding again. All of those molecules, all that Stinky Dave breath was still in there, but it had compressed, right? Mm-hmm. So we went from nice and hot, humid, musky, Stinky Dave breath to nice cold and compressed Stinky Dave breath. Yeah. So we'll do it one more time now that you guys know what's going on, and then we'll talk about those molecules in there. So now sometimes on the second time it does pop. Okay, so if it does pop, you will get to see me scream. How do I scream? Go ahead and show them. No, I scream like this. Yeah, so that is how I scream. She knows it. She'll come around the corner. I try not to put. Anyway, so what we have is the same molecules are still in there. This balloon is not deflating because it's not losing any of those particles. All of that material, all of that Stinky Dave breath is still in there, but right now those molecules are cooling down.
Like when you're real cold and you nuzzle up somebody,
yeah, when
like
you snuggle up like a penguin. Yeah, so that's a good one. I'm going to use that. So here we go. I'm going to start over like that was my idea. So what they're doing is those molecules are nuzzling up like little penguins. Yeah, because I'm going to use that forever now. That was a good one. So when they're nuzzling up together, they are now nice and compressed. And so I'll let you try it again. Sometimes it does pop. I'm going to let you hold it, so if it pops, I won't be the one focusing on when I scream. All right, so now instead of nuzzling up, they're warming up, kind of like when you have one of your kids or your dog in your bed with you in the summer, and you're like, get off me, it's hot. Yeah, so the same thing is happening inside of our little balloon here, and it is expanding. Okay, so pressure, temperature, and volume. The temperature is going up, so our volume is going up. Now, we have one last one that we're going to do for you guys, and it's actually going to be over there. And I'm going to heat up a little bit more of this water while I tell you what's going to happen over there. Now, perfect. When we do this one here, there will be a little liquid nitrogen cloud. I'm going to get that ready if you guys want to follow me over there. If you can bring that when that warms up, I'll show you guys what we have going on over here. Over here, yeah, this is the other part of the lab. Yeah, all right, so over here, what I have is a bucket, okay? There's a little bit of water in this bucket. I didn't want to do too much because we're here in the studio and we don't want to make a big mess in the studio, but we do want to get a nice little liquid nitrogen cloud, okay? So Haley's heating up that water. It's probably plenty warm enough. You can bring it over. And then if you could bring, yeah, the doer also, thank you. So she's going to bring the doer also. You can set that doer right here. I will take this, thank you. And I'm going to put some warm water in there. If you could come grab this again from me. That should be plenty. Okay, thank you. Don't touch the bottom, it's hot. All right, and for this one here, safety-wise, I'm going to take my watch off. And that's not because I don't want to ruin my watch, but I don't want any of this liquid nitrogen catching on me. Okay, I will also wear a face shield. This is again for safety, so I may not be able to hear you guys when you're yelling, 3, 2, 1. Okay, but what works pretty good is Haley's off camera, so she can yell it for me. So yeah, there you go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour some of this nitrogen into this little bucket here. And when I do, this is going to be very cold. So we're going to have very, very cold and very hot. Okay? And when you combine very cold and very hot, as you saw earlier, you get a lot of vapor. Okay? So I'm going to pour this in here. And then I'm going to get this out of the way. We have our cold, 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 and our hot. Okay? Now, what I will have you do is when I'm ready to pour it, I'm going to have you tell me the temperature of liquid nitrogen. Okay, are you ready? Here we go. And go ahead. What is the temperature of liquid nitrogen? Minus
3, 2, 1.
And so we see here that this big old vapor that is now flowing all over, and we have it coming out of this bucket here. This is a really cold vapor. I can actually pour it because it's cold enough that I can pour it like a liquid. There you go. All right, so I'm going to head this way and say thank you to Haley. So let's all give Haley a big hand. Yay! All right, there you go.
Dave a big hand.
So I appreciate Science Haley helping me out. We did work with liquid nitrogen today, and we saw that vapor. You can see that vapor over there. Yeah, see, still coming out of our bucket. And we did temperature, pressure, and volume. And I am Mr. Dave. This is
Science Haley.
Bing! And thank you for watching the Ray Kitty Science Project. And as we end everything, remember that science shows you matter. Thanks for watching.